Coming at you live from DNHQ in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is Blue Up Podcast. Oh, I can hear myself. That's cool. That's what I sound like. I'm sorry, guys. Hey,
great.
You are now home with Jim Beam and Dodgers Nation. Please drink responsibly. What is going on, Dodgers Nation? My name is Clint. You can find me as Real FRG on Twitter and Instagram. That guy is not Doug McCain.
Knew it was coming.
Yes, sir. That is being joined by. Thanks for rocking with us. No, this is Noah Cameras, DJ producer Noah, hanging out with us while Doug is working at Dodger Stadium today. So follow Doug on Instagram. You'll probably see some cool shots from Dodger Stadium, and of course at Dodgers Nation on Instagram. Get that guy. Where do we want to take that to the moon? Do we want to take that to where are we taking that to?
Let's just say we're at 215,000 right now. I'm looking for 300,000, man.
Yeah, that's DJ producer Young Lotto. Hey, can you also turn up? You turn down the headphones a little bit too much for my liking.
Yeah, me too.
I hear myself out of the headphones more than in the headphones. But on today's show, well, first of all, before we talk about what's on today's show, which we are giving away the Mookie Betts jersey. Thank you guys so much for getting us a 70K, and we're gonna harp on that for a little bit. But I want to say, how you doing, man? You nervous?
I'm doing great. No, I
You
am
nervous?
I'm no Doug. I understand I'm no Doug, but I am very excited to be here while Doug is at the Dodger game getting us some of that special content. And I'm here to just have a good time talking about none other than the Dodgers.
The Dodgers. That's right. We are talking about postseason pitching plans. It looks like things are coming together for the team, for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Dave Roberts talking a little bit about that in recent days. And, of course, Bobby Miller, another great start against the Tigers, which take what you will out of it being against the Tigers. But that happened. Latest injury news, and then the big one is looking ahead. At this point, I mean, of course, they're playing for home field advantage, but we got to talk about a little bit of playoffs, NLDS, and then all that kind of future stuff because we're getting real close to games meeting a whole lot more again in October. But again, guys, do we have a celebration? Hit the applause button on that what's it called there? Because we hit, man, the crowd is really tiny in here that year. Let's go. Push it like 7 times. It doesn't make a difference. But we did surpass the 70,000 subscriber mark from all of us here at the Dodgers Nation. Myself, Doug, Gary, people behind the scenes, even Noah. And everybody who's been here before, we do thank you so much for the love, the support from you guys because, you know, like Doug says it and we laughing about it. But, hey, this is your show. We're just hosting it. But it means a lot to us that we got the 70K, and it means so much that we want to give away that Mookie Betts jersey. We're going to make it real. We're going to make it official. And this guy, it took a lot of figuring out and deciding how the hell to actually randomize subscribers. But we figured it out. And this guy has the special name. It's in a briefcase in his head. And I think DJ producer Noel sent it over to him. What do we got? What is the magic
Should we wait
winner?
for more people in the stream? Should we
I
just
know.
run
This
with
is at the
it?
start, man. Just let it happen.
All right. Well, we can announce it again later because right now people are still trickling in, and I want to make sure that this person claims it. So we're going to announce the winner of this very special, authentic Mookie Betts jersey. And then all you have to do is let us know that you're the winner, and then you can claim it.
Yeah, we do need to have proof, obviously, that you are who you say you are, that you have the subscription and all that kind of stuff. Go back to the center cam just so people can see me talking about it. So the winner will need to contact us and verify all their stuff. So there will need to be some back and forth exchange and all that. But I think we'll have it where you email us at podcast@dodgersnation.com. But give us a winner.
So the winner of the Mookie Betts authentic jersey is Kevin Harmon.
Kevin Harmon, let's go!
And the YouTube username is Kevin Harmon 6191.
619er one.
So
cool.
619er
Kevin.
one. Kevin,
if you're in the chat,
you are here. Claim your prize.
If you're in the chat, and everybody, everybody in here, keep an eye out for if you do see a Kevin Harmon and that username and all that. Let's try to get them on the show or claimed in here. But we will get you your jersey, and if this person doesn't claim it, we're gonna have to pick another winner at some point in time.
If anyone knows a Kevin Harmon, feel free to.
It needs to be the verified
well,
one.
I just
Kevin,
mean for now, just
reach out to us,
them in.
podcast@dodgersnation.com, and we're gonna go through all the things to verify it. And we got to get your size and then address so we can send it out. But we appreciate again the love, the support. And let's go, Kevin.
Congrats, Kevin, on
Noel
that jersey.
said in the chat. But let us move on in the show a little bit. And we will remind Kevin later in the stream in case he happens to pop in, or maybe he listens on podcasts. I don't know. This is available on podcasts as well, so subscribe to that. But let's talk about your Los Angeles Dodgers. There are some injury news, some updates, little things going on. Probably not too much to affect that will affect the team for the rest of the season, probably into the postseason. But Yency Almonte did throw to hitters, I believe. Did he throw to hitters? He did, right?
He was not a part of the most recent one.
Okay, well, he threw to hitters last week, and it still, even so, Dave was like, it's not really going to be a thing.
Yeah, he's like, he maybe would come back.
Talking to your microphone.
He was like, he maybe would come back in the postseason, but at that point, I don't think they're going to trust someone to come back.
Yeah,
like they did last year when they brought Blake Trinan back, and then he just did not do anything well.
Gonsolin, etc. You don't want that. You want guys that are alive that you could trust right now.
Exactly. So I don't think he's going to have any impact.
And the next one, of course, Daniel Hudson. That was the guy who just threw yesterday. Still there to say, in the process of trying to keep his arm loose and all that. Does not seem like. I mean, I guess I could say if anybody would be a guy that they would consider bringing back, it would be him.
Because he has the experience.
He has the experience. He's been there. He's closed out a World Series in his career. But we're talking about somebody that's thrown a total of three major league innings this year. Mm-hmm. That's I don't want that being added
and
to the
thing
NLDS
is, like,
roster.
If he could come back right now, that'd be one thing. But Dave was saying when he was speaking to the media, it was like, we're going to be hopefully having a long postseason run. So hopefully he can come back at some point. That means he's not coming back to like the NLCS.
Yeah.
Like you really want someone to just throw their first inning in 4 months in the National League Championship Series. Like, that's especially if things are going well, but there's no need for them to force him coming back.
Yeah, it's kind of a no for me, Doug. But one guy who is a maybe, who is definitely somebody that could find his way onto the roster, Michael Grove. Yep. He tossed an up-down, as they call it, so pitched more than one inning at AAA Oklahoma City yesterday. 5 batters, 4 punch-outs. Yep. Apparently, according to Alex Friedman, who is a director of PR and a broadcaster with the Oklahoma City team. Great follow on Twitter, by the way, or whatever they're calling it these days. But Grover, making his way back could be an option. He was somebody that if he didn't get hurt, didn't have that, I think it's a lat strain, he could have been an option to be in the bullpen up to like now. We're talking about now. So really his injury kind of created more opportunities for guys like Emmett Sheehan, Gavin Stone for longer. And, those guys might have outplayed him. What do you think about Grove? And I mean, he's got nasty stuff out of the bullpen.
He made 1 appearance out of the bullpen this year before getting hurt, and it was 1.1 innings, 1 hit, 4 Ks. So he struck out everyone he faced, which obviously in the postseason, you want the swing and miss. You want guys who are not going to put the ball in play. You want to get those punch outs. So there definitely kind of felt like he was going to kind of fall into this role of a potential reliever, a potential long reliever, and then he gets hurt. So he's supposed to come back on Saturday, which will give him about a week and a day to maybe get 2-3 appearances in there. And I mean, if he's shut down completely, you could think that he could maybe find his way onto the the postseason roster. But I would say it's pretty unlikely because one bad appearance, one mistake, and it's like, okay, well, there are people ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, even at this point too, it's like the guys that are on the active roster right now, they are going to need to eliminate one of those guys. Like
exactly.
Even
Emmett Sheehan is one of those guys.
Yeah, he's on the bubble. Gavin Stone's on the bubble. Not really, but you could say Ryan Pepio's on the bubble. You
could even put like someone like Caleb Ferguson on the bubble.
You really could. But we'll talk more about postseason pitching. I think Ferg is going to be a big part of the postseason plan.
He'll be an opener.
But if you he looks busy. I was going to say, you got anything in the comments? Let's start the comments, and then Noel, if you see anything in the comments, feel free to jump in.
I'll start.
A lot of people wanting Kyle Hurt to see. Roy Estrada says bring up Kyle Hurt.
There's a lot of Kyle Hurt.
Jose Gutierrez says, no, Doug, I'm out. I don't blame you.
Facts.
He's a loud guy.
Craig Osterberg said Grove only for relief. Ricky Vasquez said Hurt is greater than Almonte, so he'd rather see Kyle Hurt than Yency Almonte be forced back. I got a lot of congratulations for Kevin. Yeah. Kevin, if you joined late, Kevin Harmon.
Where you at? We're trying to give you a Mookie Betts jersey.
Kevin, pop in whenever. If anybody knows any Kevin that could be the
that
Kevin
could be a Harmon,
let him know. Call him, FaceTime him, anything you need.
And let's see. Jerky 2 says D-Mac doesn't look like himself today. That's true. Listen.
Got a haircut.
We get to 300 likes. D-Mac will join us in the stream.
Facts.
Right.
And he'll do a shoey.
And he'll do a shoey. And a barrel roll.
If we get to 300 likes, we'll FaceTime D-Mac.
And for Noel, he'll take off his hat.
Facts.
That's a thing, right?
We never see Doug's actual hair on the
Yeah.
show. That's all I'm saying.
Nah,
That's all
he's not about that lifestyle.
Axel
I can do that.
X
I got the
Jimenez.
haircut. So I drop
haircut.
So I drop the haircut.
Yeah,
That's a
everybody
good-looking
drop that
haircut.
fresh cut in the comments for Clint, please. Show some love.
Axel
that's my
X
character.
Jimenez said applying tomorrow to Dodgers Nation. Someone's been looking out for the application. Love to see that. We're always looking for more people with a lot of different roles. So very much love that.
Boomer Assassin says D-Mac is hooked on Rams. That's not what it's called. What else? I guess we'll move on. One thing I wanted to talk about. We were going to talk about it on Monday, but Doug and I kind of ran out of time, even though there is no time limit. But when the shows go on for as long as they do, sometimes it's like, we've had
cut it
enough.
off at some point.
Got to go pee, you know. But so Will Smith had his injury revelation on the AM 570 radio over the weekend. I guess he's playing for a while with a broken rib, which is not good. End of April. Which I think we did address it a little bit on Monday, but it's like end of April, and they're kind of trying to spin it as that's why he's not playing as well, even though
he made an all-star team.
Made an all-star team. His best month of the year was kind of like in May. He was pretty decent in June as well, and he's kind of fallen off as the season's gone on, and catchers get tired,
which makes sense. Yeah,
it's not a conversation, but for the sake of fun and excitement in this, I'm gonna call it a conversation. Look, while Will is having a really bad September, which is fine, people have bad months. It is what it is. He's an important part of this team for sure. But Austin Barnes is thriving at the plate right now.
He's been better
since August. He's hitting around 300.
He's been better.
Yeah, Hall of Fame numbers here for talking about the last 2 months, and he's playing extremely sparingly. Is this a conversation? Like, do you do something that's stupid?
No.
The answer is no.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm doing some quick math here. In his last 10 games, he has 8 hits in quick math is about 30, 40 plate appearances, something like that. So,
Quick math.
it's better. I mean, he's definitely been
Do
improvement.
you know how to use baseball reference?
Well, I was looking at it quickly. So, he's definitely been better.
Shout out. Somebody send Noah a super chat here to get Stathead add-on or whatever it's called.
I mean, he's definitely been better, but no, it's not a conversation. The Dodgers need Will Smith to be Will Smith in the postseason. There's been a lot of talk. People are saying he should move to the 5-hole, have JD go to the 3-hole.
That is
whether they do that, that's not an issue. But wherever he is in the lineup, they need him to be a contributor because this offense is so much better when Will Smith is not, just in there, when he's actually contributing, when he's working behind Freddie and Mookie and driving in runs, getting on base. Like, they need Will Smith to be Will Smith.
They need that 3-hole to be a little more productive.
For sure they need the 3-hole.
That's fine.
So that's why maybe JD goes up.
And there are some options for sure. I mean, honestly, I like the 1 and the 2, and I like the 3 and the 4. You wonder about just maybe taking a little bit of pressure off of Will in that situation. And I don't think they do this. I don't think Dave changes what's worked. We're talking about a 93 win team at this point, entering play on Thursday. It's a very good team. It's got a good lineup. They score runs. Will's having a down right now. But if we're looking for a nitpick, if we're looking for something, they're talking about him being hurt. Will's not 100% right, or he is now, but it took him a while, and he's hitting under 200 for the month. It's very not Dodgers is very not Dave Roberts because they ran with Max Muncy hitting under 200 for most of the season. So clearly it's not, but you just wonder about moving somebody like a Jason Hayward who is on fire right now. But there's also the importance of Jay Hay doing what he's doing in the 6th or 7th hole. And then, Miguel Rojas has been a revelation since he heated up, and having him in that 9 spot really helps out this lineup. It stretches, it extends the lineup. You don't have too many dead spots in there. So that's, again, for the sake of a live stream conversation, I was like, is it a conversation to have Austin Barnes start some more? It worked in the postseason in 2020. But that's not really.
The only thing I would say is he starts more now to maybe let Will rest a little bit more.
I would argue
because,
that.
Like you said, they want to call it the rib, whatever it is. That was April 30th. So he's been hurt for 6 months, 5 months. Clearly that wasn't affecting him when he, made an all-star team. So if anything,
the McRib.
There you
it's
go.
back.
So if anything, you're playing Austin Barnes a little more to end the season just to let Will Smith kind of regroup, get him into a groove. Yeah, I mean, in his last 7 games hitting 115. His last 15 games, his slugging percentage is 293. I mean, he's not hitting the ball well at all, and you need him to hit the ball well come October. He's definitely.
Do you believe this? You hearing this? Do you have sources?
He's definitely going to be in the starting lineup come October. So yeah, if you want to give him an extra couple of days to rest, in the last few weeks,
maybe split catching duty a little bit to end the season. But then
60-40.
That goes into a conversation we're going to have in a little bit about trying to play for that number 1 seed, trying to play for the best record in baseball, hopefully.
Yep.
are you putting yourself in the best position to leapfrog the Braves with Will Smith out of the lineup? Well, if Austin's hitting, then it shouldn't be that big of a thing. So, hit and miss. But I think for the sake of giving Will a little bit more time, maybe he's not playing, but he's still taking his swings, of course. Maybe that helps him. Maybe that helps him rest up, and then you get a big boost. The baseball season is long, man. And he's still, this is a year 5 for him. 19 part-time player, kind of took over 20, short season. This is the second real
long season,
or third full season. Yeah, my boy's tired. I'm tired.
We're all
What's going on in the chat over there? That fool Neil.
Got a lot of good viewers in chat right now. We have a couple of people asking if the giveaway already went on. Yes, it did. It went on.
Kevin
Harmon won the jersey. So thank you, Mookie Betts himself.
We're waiting to hear from Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin.
Send us something.
But again, I do want to thank everybody again for subscribing. It did mean a lot to us. Getting to 70, we put a lot of work into this, even if it doesn't look like it or doesn't come across that way on these shows at times. But shout out to Doug as well. He'll be back on Monday. Well, he'll be back tomorrow on the channel, but
he will be back. He was working 24/7, as we all know, or 24/8.
24/8.
Shout
out.
Subscribe to 24/8.
But real quick, I know you guys are going to get into this a little bit later. The original Taps asked, do you think the Braves could get knocked out of the first round? A little quick answer for you guys.
If they're playing the Phillies, you never know. No one thought the Dodgers were going to lose to the Padres last year, and then the Padres got hot. So, if the Phillies – to be fair, the Braves they've lost 5 of their last 6. This is their cold stretch right now. Yeah, if the Braves get cold in 2 weeks from now, anything can happen. Yep. They look on paper like the best team in baseball, but you really never know. So if they have to face the red-hot Phillies team with that lineup, that pitching, you never know in a 5-game series.
Yeah, baseball is weird like that, man. We've seen it. We've seen it on both sides.
Dodger fans know it
as Dodger
well
fans,
as anyone.
For sure.
Last year you saw it, 2019
you make the tournament, and then there are upsets.
It's like March Madness in October. October Madness.
Okay.
You hear what I said?
All right.
Yeah, you heard what I said? It's October
He's
Madness.
doing his best Doug impression right now.
I was trying. Someone has to be Doug if Doug's not here.
But Kelson also asked, love the lives and the videos. Do you think Pepiot has the potential that Bobby Miller has to be the Dodgers ace?
Pepiot, probably not an ace.
He seems like a really good 2-3 guy.
Longer time Dodger fans might recollect a little fella named Chad Billingsley. I see it more of a Chad Billingsley out of would you like 3?
I remember Chad Billingsley.
You're like 2.5. No,
I was like 9.
Yeah, whatever. These kids these days, I tells you. Billingsley. He didn't hit that ace level that the team was hoping for, but he was probably never going to be that guy. He was a solid 2-3. He didn't become the Drysdale to Kershaw's Koufax, but he had a good run with the team until he blew out his elbow.
Yeah, no, whether he becomes a really good player or an ace, it doesn't really matter. The Dodgers don't need him to be an ace. Their kind of hope is Bobby Miller is going to be that future ace. Walker Buehler is still, he's not old. He's still there. He could very well, be there for the next handful of years. So Ryan Pepiot just needs to be a very solid back of the line starter. And as of right now, he's kind of proving that he has all the stuff to do that. He's been absolutely dominant since returning 33 innings. He has a .84 ERA, I think, 0.81. 0.81 ERA. He is just absolutely dominant right now. So I think he's going to make a huge impact in the postseason.
Yeah, in the future, he could be the absolute best number 3 starter in baseball.
He was Doug's pick for Rookie of the Year. So.
It still could happen. It's not going to happen.
Needs a 2 perfect games.
It's not going to happen. What else you got?
Lastly, Roy Estrada, the man himself, said the dream is for the Padres to keep winning with their weak schedule and finish 1 game out of the playoffs.
The Padres are making a late season push. You got to give them some credit.
Hey, the longer they play, the longer Machado's not going to get that elbow
and he's not going to be ready for opening day.
Not going to be ready for opening day.
They said it's going to take a little while, and every day that goes by that they're still in it, he's not leaving yet. So
hey, it's just baseball.
It's just baseball.
BASE, BALL.
Yeah, you got to get the veneers.
Like
the biggest teeth in the world.
I will say the Padres do have a very easy schedule to end the year, so it does look like they're going to keep winning. But
I'm not giving them credit.
I am with you, Roy. I think they're going to fall just short, and that'll be kind of funny.
That's what's in.
That's what's in. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's look at the postseason and the postseason plan just a hair. The pitching plan, we've talked about it over the last couple of weeks, Doug and I. The pitching plan is coming together a good bit. Dave Roberts talked more about it yesterday, pre-game. just sort of the plan. You did see Pepio come on as a bulk guy, and you're seeing Emmett Sheehan starting tonight, but you've seen him kind of mix and move around in different roles. Per Dave Roberts, he says Caleb Ferguson, Brusdar Graterol, and Shelby Miller are options to be openers in the postseason, which that's a move I really like, because these are guys that, honestly, Ferg's done really well as an opener. I think he started like 5 games or whatever.
Yeah, he gave up a home run earlier this week as an opener. But
and that's not the worst.
It's better than getting walks and
again, like I said, getting him out of the way in a late and tight situation.
May as well get the home run out of the way in the first.
But we're talking about one of those 3 guys maybe as your game 4 starter, and then Pepio coming in behind him. So that to me, I don't hate it. I would rather see that than a full, trying to get a full 5 innings and out of somebody like Pepio, maybe
Lance Lynn too.
Lance Lynn, you have a bad start, you have a bad first inning. That sets the tone for the entire game. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
and we've seen that. We've seen the Dodger fans for sure have seen that happen. You look back to Game 7, 2017 World Series, the fact that Yu Darvish was in there and he kind of blew ass, and then he's just supposed to be the guy who's in here for the rest of eternity.
And then Clayton Kershaw came in and pitched really well.
Kershaw was was electric.
He was perfect.
He was like, not today. We're not going out like
Kershaw
this.
starts that game, you never know what happens.
But yeah, even if it's not Ferg though, with Brusdar, I like Brusdar.
Yeah,
later
Brusdar has literally been almost unhittable.
It's going to be handedness too. What depends on what the lineup, of course.
Yeah,
and we're going to talk more about potential NLDS opponents a little bit later in the show. But when you're looking at Brusdar, you're definitely going to have a more right-hand heavy lineup. Shelby Miller, maybe right, left, right, or whatever, because his splits are pretty neutral. That's another thing with Ferg as well, pretty neutral, and that's one of the points that Dave had right there. So I like those 3 guys, and it does set up your bullpen. You use any one of those guys, you got Evan Phillips, you got Ryan Brazier, you got Joe Kelly, you got Alex Vesia, and whoever didn't start or open, you got more options there. And then long relief with Pepio, Yarbrough, and Sheehan, and then it looks like to me, honestly, at this point, Gavin Stone is the odd man out when you have to lose a guy going back down to the 26-man roster. But is that enough to get through to a World Series? World Series is a different animal, so let's try to get to a National League pennant right now.
Yeah,
Do you think that is a sustainable model to play upwards of 12 games?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's 27 outs, and in the postseason, you don't care how you get them. Your job is to just get him. So if that means Brusdar Graterol, who has 22 consecutive scoreless innings right now, if he's taking the first inning to get you off on a good note against, the opposing team's 1-2-3, not a bad plan. I think actually I like the idea of Shelby Miller the most, because Shelby's had a good year. He dealt with injury. He came back. He's been dominant. But I think they have better late game options, whether it's obviously Evan Phillips in the 9th, Ryan Brazier. I think I want to see Brusdar later in the game because how he's playing. So that would put Shelby Miller in like a 6-inning spot, which you don't really need him. I think I'd almost rather see him open a game, maybe go 1, even 2 innings, because Shelby Miller does have the capability to go more than 1, and then hand it off to whether it's Ryan Pepio, whether it's the Ryan Yarbrough game, whether it's that maybe a Lance Lynn game. I think Shelby Miller would be a really good option for an opener. I think Brusdar should be someone who gets saved for a 7th inning type thing, just because how dominant he is right now. He has been arguably the Dodgers' best and most consistent reliever all year long.
Really has.
And right now he's really just peaking at the best time. So I don't think you want to use him too early in the first inning when, if Ryan Brazier's down or if Ryan Brazier can only give you 1 inning and you need to get 7, 8, 9, I think you want to have Brusdar there because of how dominant he's been. So I think Shelby Miller kind of feels like the best option to me because he can also give you more than 1 inning.
Yeah, and Brusdar, you can get outs. You can get outs different ways. He does have a little bit more punch than he's had in the past. That cutter has been a nice addition to the tool bag for him. But he can get ground balls. He can get double plays. He gives you a little bit more optionality. I think. He's hittable in his own ways, but he's been phenomenal this season. And I would, you could argue if you're really trying to nitpick, maybe Shelby Miller's a little more hittable just because he can get some of those dinks and doinks because his stuff is so nasty. But it's not straight, but it's a little straighter. But the way things are lining up, considering the circumstances of where this pitching staff is and just kind of how things have sort of fallen into place, this is by far the best scenario they could have, and it's not because of like, oh, this is all they have. Like, no, this is a pretty good pitching staff. You know,
I mean, when you look at the starters, I like Bobby Miller in game 1. You know, Clayton Kershaw, the shoulder, the velocity of the command's a little concerning, but, you know, you've seen him to go out and battle and get the 4 shutout innings, which in a postseason game is all you're going to need at that point to just try to turn it over to your really deep bullpen.
You're not going to have guys going super deep.
No, I mean, the deepest we're probably going to see is at most 6 innings if Lance Lynn, for some reason, gets through 6. I don't see either of the rookies going more than 5 unless they're absolutely dealing. But, you know, Tyler Anderson was dealing last year, and he was done after 5. So I don't think we're going to see more than 5, 6 at most. So you're going to be relying on the bullpen. But Bobby Miller, I trust to give 5 good innings. Clayton Kershaw, I trust to give 4 or 5. 4 or 5. And Ryan Pepiot has been so dominant, but I really trust him in like a game 3 situation to go give 4 or 5 good shutout innings.
So you'd go Pep over Lynn in game 3?
I would go Pep over Lynn in game 3. That's kind of what and it could be an opener too. I mean, it could be someone and then Pep. But
I mean, he threw what? He tossed five scoreless or 5 solid relief innings in his last one. Was it 5 or 6?
Pepiot's last one was 6. 5 hits. He got 1 solo home run, so it wasn't even a lot of traffic. And then 4 big strikeouts. Before that, it was 6. Before that was his 7-inning 1-hitter when he had a perfect game in the 7th, and then it was 5, 4, 5. So he has given the length. 4 or 5 is going to be all they need from Pepiot. And he has a 1.91 ERA right now. I mean, like...
Is that good?
You know, that's not bad. I mean, that's not bad.
It's a decent.
And that's also just that one the one quote-unquote bad outing against the Padres where he gave up 4 runs. Besides that, it's 1 earned run, 0-0-1-1.
I think Noah's been on Baseball Reference. Like
this one's just Google, actually. But
you use Google?
No, but
that's crazy.
I've tweeted so much about Ryan Pepiot because I love what he's done since returning.
You're a bet booster for sure.
I mean, I got some Pepiot in my Stepio when I talk about Ryan.
That's the thing. He's part of the pep club over here.
On the note of boosting, we have a super. Noah, you win. But yeah, shout out my guy Bob Nightingale in the
show. Bob Nightingale.
Yes, sir. $4.99 donation. Best Dodger channel by far, and it's not even close. Also, should I be concerned that D-Mac isn't here and my wife isn't answering my calls? D-Mac is Mr. Steal Your Girl, but I would not worry about that. D-Mac is very, very respectful to Mr. Nightingale.
Listen, so D-Mac puts the work above love, above family. And them are facts. You know what? I got him. Just for me, I got to make that the Hornito shot taker of the day. Bob Nightingale, this shot's on you. Guys, drink fresh, drink Hornitos, drink responsibly. We love Hornitos. Friends of the show, friends of the network.
I want to address this comment. Justin Kim 2000 said, "Is Cody back? Let's go." No, that's not Cody. I know the voice is familiar, but that's Noel. The hair's too, but voice is familiar.
The hair's familiar for sure.
But no, that's Mr. Noel Sanchez at Noise by Noel. Make sure to follow him on all socials. But no, that is Noel Sanchez.
Noise by Noel says, "Damn, where the super chat's at?" I had another comment in there I was looking for. Boomer Assassin said he's happy with Stone being the odd man out, which he's had. The kid's had a tough year.
Yeah,
he looked better,
really good,
much better.
I think it was 3 innings in his last appearance, and he was dominant.
3.1,
he got the save.
Hit.
5 Ks. I mean, that to me is a build for next year type thing because Gavin Stone is he should play an important role.
With the team. Yeah. He will be on the taxi squad. He's going to be there. Sure. You guys are going to see Kyle Hurt. He's going to be around. Grover, he's going to be around. A lot of these guys are going to be around. They might not be on the roster,
but they'll be there celebrating.
They will be available.
They'll be drinking, even though they're like barely 21.
They'll be popping
bottles just past 21. But no, I mean, I think for Gavin Stone, he'll probably pitch again this year in the regular season, maybe twice, and in my opinion, that's just building for next year. He had a lot of struggles this year. He had some rough outings. And I think you just want to see him build for next year, where he could very easily get a spot in the starting rotation. Yeah. Depending on how everything plays out, there's going to be a lot of turnover.
Yeah, you hope they don't enter the offseason or enter spring training with him in the starting rotation because you want him to be a depth piece and kind of fill out the rotation if there's an injury. But if he's one of the guys, and I'm a little concerned, but I don't think that's.
I see him definitely being one of the competing guys like last year. Like when Tony Gonsolin went down, and then it was now 3 guys fighting for that 5 spot. Yeah. He could be in a situation like that next spring training if something happens.
As we stay here, Dodgers Nation, yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's see. Anthony Keene, friend of the show. What's going on, Keene? Says, free Emmett Sheehan. I'd rather have him starting for sure. Boomer Assassin, I want Linsanity to have a very short lease, 1 dinger, and give him the hook.
I mean,
you know what? I think even that fool DJ producer Young Lotto could agree to that one. Do you agree to that one? Like don't let Lynn stay out there and just keep giving up bomb after bomb after bomb.
No, I think they said it perfectly earlier in the chat. They just like give him a very short leash because you guys are like the Dodgers experts here. Like Doug called you guys the other day.
Yeah, we're
experts. But you
guys
guys
smoke up art now.
You guys know that he has the tools. You know, he has the raw power, the grown man strength to get it done. But
old grown man, he's thick.
He is. So I think, like I said, short leash. Just be careful. Pull him out if he shows those signs again.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Lance Lynn is like the home runs might come, and in a postseason game, a solo home run isn't going to kill you.
That's the problem, though. They're not just solos right now.
Well, that's the thing. But like, yeah, I mean, if he's going to give up a 3-run bomb, like, that's going to be a huge issue. But if you're going to get 6 innings out of him where he gives up 3 solo home runs, that to me is not the worst thing in the entire world.
That's fine.
I mean, that is not. I mean, in a postseason game when the bats you're hoping are a little bit better. Also, Lance Lynn's not starting game 1, 2, in my opinion, not 3 either. So if he's starting a game 4, the hope is you're up 2-1 at that point in an LDS, and obviously you don't want to go back home, but like you don't need Bobby Miller to go out there and give you 5 shutout innings. I mean, you hope you want him for a game 5. Yeah. So
Bobby Miller, this is where too, like the way things are lining up. We are going to talk about the postseason rotation a little bit, and I think you and I differ on how it should line up for sure. But one thing with Lynn. I don't know if you want to call it unexpected or surprisingly, those are the words. Those are the proper lyrics.
Yes,
but
sir.
he did say in his most recent outing or after his most recent outing, they are working on some mechanical changes. Yeah. So doing that in season, when we saw this with Noah Syndergaard, it didn't work out. I do wonder if maybe now's not the time because it's gotten worse. Yeah, as his Dodger career has progressed, like he came over.
5 dominant
and
starts.
He started right away. The only thing they changed was the pitch mix. That was about it. Mm-hmm. They changed the pitch mix, but now if they're trying to change the mechanics, maybe you should have left
when he has
alone.
2 starts left. I mean, it's kind of. Here's the thing. I mean, the home run problem was apparent. In his first start with the Dodgers, he gave up 3 solo home runs.
Yeah, and they were all off the cutter.
And it was like, here we go.
I think it was all off the cutter.
And then he started getting better, and then the home run problem came back. So they're probably like, we got to do something. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the thing of when he had those 5 really good starts, you almost wanted to stick with it. He had, I think it was a 2.03 ERA with the Dodgers.
It's pretty
after
good. He
5
thinks,
starts.
He's not looking it up.
No.
Trust.
And then he had 2 really bad starts when he gave up 7 and 8 earned runs, and that's when I think they got nervous and okay, we got to change things up. And his last 2 have been better, but you kind of see him battling in his last 2 starts. Like it's not like when he had 9 strikeouts against the Rockies, 5 shutout innings. This is like I am battling to get out. So in a postseason game, I do agree the leash will be shorter. I mean, the Dodgers want him to eat innings right now. They're not going to need that in a postseason atmosphere. And he's hungry.
He's hungry.
So I do agree that the leash could be shorter, but if he's going to go out and give you 5-6 innings with a couple solo shots, I think you're going to take that from Lance Lynn, considering where your starting rotation is at, with not where you wanted it to be when the year started.
There's another one. Roy Estrada. I might have to also make this a shot taker of the day because Lance Lynn is Oprah Winfrey. You get a homer. You get a homer. You get a homer. And you get a shot of Hornitos, guys. Thank you for rocking with us. Friends of the show, friends of the stream. Hornitos, drink fresh, drink responsibly. Hornito. How does Doug say it? Ornitos.
Ornitos.
Doug gets a hornito.
Oh yeah, he finally learned. He's finally learned to roll the R's. Proud of him.
I can't do that.
Hor.
No
mames. I don't know. A user here on YouTube says Roberts only has a short leash for starters who are pitching well. Damn, that hurts. That hurts. That hurts. Shout out Rich Hill. Shout out Tyler Anderson. I hear he had that dog in him. And then that dog was put down by Dave Roberts. Teresa Gates says D-Mac owes us a shoey. I agree for once. I'm usually very against the shoeys, but right now he thinks he's too good for us. He's like, I'm going to go do other work at the stadium.
He went with his good friend, I think. They were going. He was going with his good buddy.
Who?
Wait, Buddy was going?
No, Buddy's right there.
No, a different buddy.
They're putting in some work at Dodger Stadium. Him and the legendary Spencer.
Make sure to stay tuned on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel for all the coverage that D-Mac gets. There's going to be some interviews.
Him and Spencer are cooking up a first-time Dodgers fans guide today. So keep an eye out for that on Dodgers Nation channel.
That's going to be a good one. That one's going to be good.
All the secret spots, all the best food spots, the best places to sit, parking guides.
Doug knows all the best food spots.
Exactly.
Knows where to park. Me and Doug put a lot of work into parking there.
K-Day.
Gay day. Avoid gay day.
Avoid.
Anthony Keene, did I miss the Mookie giveaway? We didn't give away Mookie, but we did give away a jersey. And yes, you did it at the top of the show. The winner was Kevin Harmon.
Kevin Harmon.
Still waiting to hear from Kevin Harmon. If he pops into the stream, we'll find a way to communicate to Kevin that he has won.
Or if you guys
the
know
jersey. If you know
Kevin Harmon.
Not a Kevin Harmon. It has to be the
well,
correct
I just mean
one.
A, so then you can come in, then we can see if that's the right one.
How do you cut him open and count the rings?
Yeah, he'll tell us what his.
That's how you tell people's age.
He'll tell us what his YouTube username is.
Anthony Keene says, "Shout out Ross Stripling. Oh, good friend, my good friend. Hey, you're a good friend.
I love
too.
that guy.
Yeah,
that's a great guy.
I was gonna ask him to come hang out when the Giants were in town, but he ain't with them really. There's some interesting things going on with those two sides there. But
Slash
anyways,
is my homie.
I think we have an imposter.
Said, "Hey, I'm Kevin
oh,
Harmon."
Slash is my homie.
Slash,
it's totally Kevin
you
Harmon.
spelled his name wrong, so
I've been waiting.
Among Us.
I've been waiting for that one for a while.
yeah, spelled his name wrong. So
there's another one. I think I got that one in there, and then Nando 390 says Stone don't belong anywhere near October this year. He'll be there. He'll be around. He'll have the best seats in the house. Really,
facts. Yeah, he'll be right in the
them
dugout.
are facts. But
learning from all the veterans around him.
Veterans. But yeah, let's talk about that postseason rotation. Doug and I have had the argument. I think we talked about it a little bit on maybe a round table too as well. But I feel like you and I have talked a little bit about it at different times with the camera in our face. But yeah, we differ on the postseason rotation. And the reason I say Clayton Kershaw starts game one is because he's the guy who is more likely to be a shorter leash starter. He's only going to go 4 or 5 innings. Let him pitch in the game one. When you have your bullpen at its most rested, is you are going to have a few days off before the DS starts.
Yeah.
And then big game Bob, Ice Bobby comes in there, gets you 5 or 6 in game 2. And I think, after that, there's a travel day. So
yeah, there's a lot of those kind of breaks.
So that's the thing. You have to factor in. It's like, it'd be nice to run out there, run your big horse out there in game 1, but you got to factor in the schedule, think about things beyond just what's going on in that moment. But sell me on Bobby starting game 1.
Yeah, I've been big on Bobby. To be fair, 3 months ago, we did a little hot take thing.
I
promised you. I was sitting right over there, and I promised you that Bobby Miller deserved the ball in game
roll the clip.
1. Roll it. That would have been cool, actually. I should have done that.
Yeah.
But no,
we can do that.
I know
Just
we could
haven't
have.
done it in a
It's just, it's a lot of work.
have a little sip.
Yeah, but the thing with Bobby is in a game 1, at home, Dodger Stadium, you don't want to lose that game. I think you want your best pitcher out there. Breaking news. You don't want to lose it. You want your best pitcher out there. You want the guy that you trust the most. And I love myself some Clayton Kershaw, one of the greatest Dodgers ever. And I very much appreciate what he's done all year. I appreciate him battling through this shoulder thing, but he's not 100%. He's not even close to 100%. It's very clear that the velocity has been down, the command's been down, and he is gutting himself through 4 innings.
You want to be the man, you got to have the command.
You have to have the command. And right now, Bobby Miller is the Dodgers pitcher I trust the most in any sort of game, especially in a game 1. And if you're going game 1, you're going to be on track again to start potentially in game 4 on short rest or game 5 on full rest. And the thing for me is, I love what Kershaw's doing. I don't want Kershaw in a game 5 with the game on the line with this shoulder issue.
That's
I
fair.
prefer Bobby Miller in that game 5.
If you are in that
series on the line.
situation, I mean, we've seen that situation a lot in the past, the whole idea of a short rest. I don't think this team, this front office, Dave Roberts would be okay with a short rest starter anymore. Baseball's just, the landscape has changed so much over the last 5 years, less than really,
even less,
I mean, we're gone are the days where Kershaw went out there on 3 days rest.
You know, Kershaw's not
often.
going on anything less than 5. I mean, Kershaw is going to be, but someone like Bobby Miller, I could see him going on 4 days rest. I mean, he could very easily go on 4 days rest. Yeah, I mean, the schedule is
the fact that you are going to have guys like Pepio Yarbrough and Sheehan most likely available to you in the bullpen, though. I think it sets you up for better success with the opener style in a winner take all. I would argue that if it's a game 5, you need win or go home. Give me an opener over a short rest Bobby. It's kind of my feel on it. Of course, they don't pay me to make that decision. So
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So the game 2 starter, the 5th day would be where game 5 is. The game 1 starter, that would be the 7th day. So if you wanted your game 2 starter to start game 5, you technically could do that. Mm-hmm. But if you wanted your game 1 starter to start game 4, like that would be 4 days rest.
Look at this. It's like we're planning like a nice little vacation, getting the itinerary here. It's like, well, if you want to see your mother, you're gonna have to plan to be here in Oahu. Oh wait, that's a bad place right now, right? What's going on? I don't know. I don't pay attention to the news. I just know that something happened in Hawaii, and our thoughts are with them.
We are.
Fires. We hope everybody's doing okay.
That's right.
But yeah, I just think you want your best pitcher going in the most important games.
It's fair.
And right now, Bobby Miller has the stuff. He can throw hard. He has 5 different pitches. And I think him at his best is by far the Dodgers' best pitcher right now. So you want him in game 1. And if you really want to get out of the way in game 4, you can send him out there. If you're okay with a game 5 at home, again, I want Bobby Miller out there for game 5.
What do the people think?
Oh, man, we got a good comment right here.
Sure, we got good stuff.
Anthony Keene said Noah working those numbers like Rain Man. You're cooking.
The best thing is, though, when you throw in more numbers, it keeps the episode super evergreen, and that's what the people want. They want dated numbers.
Well, these aren't dated. These are future numbers.
No, because the other stuff.
Noah's a big numbers guy. Follow him at Noah Cameras on Twitter.
I'm a big numbers guy.
On the X, on Threads.
Yeah, we got a lot of good comments in here. Anthony King, once again, he said, I think Kershaw has done better as a game 2-3 starter, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, did he did not start game 2 last year. He was a game 1. No, he was game 2, right? Yeah.
No,
didn't do that
game
well.
1. Kershaw was game 2, and he struggled. The Dodgers lost that game.
The Dodgers.
BC also said, I think we need to accept that whoever pitches, if we can't score 6+ runs, we're not going to win probably.
6 is high, but I agree. The bats are going to be the X factor. Clearly,
it really is.
I mean, the bats need to be
the story of the season.
I mean,
really.
Yeah, the entire year it's been the bats. I mean, the pitching was like historically bad to start the year. The bats kept him in. The pitching has caught up. The bats have continued. The thing I love about this offense is they never give up. They're always in the game, even against the Tigers on September 19th when the division is locked up. They're down 2-0. They get a run in the 4th, a run in the 8th, a run in the 9th to walk it off. I mean, like
all the way back.
They never give up. So you have to assume that 3 runs is probably not going to cut it right now. Yeah. Maybe in one of the games, but to be fair, last year that was the same issue. I mean, the bats went silent.
These aren't your grandpa's Dodgers for sure.
Your grandpa's Dodgers. But look, last year the bats went silent and the pitching was good, but it wasn't great. Yeah. And that ended up being the issue. I mean, game 1 they won 5-3, and then the bats just went completely silent. There's a lot of zeros. So it's always going to be the bats in the postseason for a team that doesn't have the best pitching, and the Dodgers have arguably one of the worst starting rotations, at least in terms of unknown, going into the postseason. They have a lot of unknowns with, in my opinion, 2 rookies taking the first 3 games.
Remember, though, they're going out there and they're running, as Andrew Friedman said, they're going to put their best 13 pitchers on the roster, and he better be true to that. That's really what you hope.
They don't care about matchups. They're not even trying to with the left or rights. They want their best arms out there. So Caleb Ferguson's been much better, but if he was still struggling, that means he could get left off for somebody else. Although I think he's going to make because he's been much better as of late. But yeah, I mean, you're going to see them put their best pitchers out there, and hopefully, in my opinion, that means Ryan Pepio taking game 3. Because I love that guy.
Best 13 pitchers they might face. One of these teams, we got to look ahead at who the Dodgers could face in the NLDS, and are at this point, we talked a little bit around it. Should they go all the way in, balls to the wall, trying to get that number 1 seed in Major League Baseball? Because if they pass the Braves, they would have the number 1 record in baseball. That would, of course, assume that the Orioles lose a game or 2. But there's been a lot of talk of late, and I think Dave had some thoughts about home field advantage. Either pregame or postgame yesterday. Yeah, but Dave has his thoughts. I want your thoughts on it, and then I'll kind of button it up. We've seen this team with and without home field advantage. Sure, it's nice. I guess I'll open up the floor to it. We've seen him with both. I don't think it matters as much to this team. They do play well, both home and road, and they're the way the postseason works. It's like you do, especially in the 7-game series. It's 2-3-2. I don't know how much of a home field advantage that is sometimes, because you're playing 3 games in a row on the road.
You have to win 1 and 2.
And if you lose 1 game at home to open in game 1 or game 2, you kind of threw your home field advantage away. I don't know if it's nuanced or whatever, but it's I don't know if there's a right or a wrong answer on it. But what do you think? Give me Dave's thoughts. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah.
Are they going all in? Should they go all in on home field advantage, and how important is that to this team?
I'll start with Dave. So he said, obviously, there's the benefit of looking way out to the home field advantage and the CS, which obviously would be being over the Braves for the championship series. I think that it'll play out the way it's going to. I'm not going to make decisions on trying to catch the Braves. I think that our thought is just to beat these guys tonight. It's kind of like that kind of stuff. So he made it very clear they're not going out of their way to do it. Right now, they're 3.5 games back. They're 3 back in the loss column. Mm-hmm. They had a chance to pick up a game yesterday. They didn't. So with, 10 games to go, 3.5 back, yeah, you need the Braves to continue sliding. You need the Dodgers to continue winning. Now, the question is, does it really matter? I mean, yeah, you want to be at Dodger Stadium for games 1 and 2 in an NLCS against the Braves. That would be very nice. You don't have that stupid chop thing going on. You kind of have your fans. But at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters. I think if it was much closer, you could see the Dodgers trying to get it more. But once they lost that series to the Braves, I think you kind of felt like, okay, like what they lost. Yeah, they lost 3 or 4 games. It was like
a little kick in the teeth.
It was like, okay, maybe this isn't going to happen. And now they actually did get much closer. But you look at the splits at home. This is kind of that side of it. Pitching splits at home, the Dodgers have a 3.56 team ERA. On the road, they have a 4.7 team ERA. So they're obviously much better pitching at home.
That is worse.
They have 50 wins at home, 43 wins on the road, so better winning percentage. I mean, they're going to be better at home.
You expect the team to be better. The ERA splits, that's
it's definitely a little drastic.
That's pretty drastic. You wonder how much of that was earlier in the season when the pitching staff was absolute, doo-doo. But all the numbers should point to, you want to be home, but is it the most important thing? And it's not to say like they're not going to still sit there and actively try to lose a game.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, oh, let's drop this game so we can. No, it's very. He even said Doc said the most important thing is that we go healthy into the postseason. So they're not going to
by far.
They're not going to force in a late game situation. Then again, Freddie's going to play every day anyway. It's not like he's going to be getting rest instead. But if Will Smith is struggling and they want to get him a couple days, they're not going to put him at risk by forcing him to play a game against the Giants when they have already clocked up. It's kind of one of those things in my opinion. So Freddie's going to be out there every day. Moogie's probably going to be out there every day. JD Martinez said he wants to play every day because he wants to continue to be in his rhythm.
He needs to be the rhythm.
Because he missed a lot of time. I don't see Max Muncy taking days off because he also wants to be in rhythm and keep working at third base. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're not going to force pitchers to go 7 innings into a game when they could very much save Clayton Kershaw's arm.
It's going to be more on the pitching side.
Like Clayton Kershaw's going to go 4 innings probably in his next 2 starts, maybe 5 at most. They're not going to force him.
Veterans outside of JD, because whatever, he's DHing, but you'll probably see a little less
Muncy
Miguel Rojas. Like we already said earlier, you hope maybe you see a little bit less Will Smith in there just so he can try to get some rest and get ramp back up for October. So it doesn't feel like it's extremely important. And again, either way, they're still trying to play to win some games, and that's literally all they have control of.
Honestly,
right
in my opinion, it's just if they do want to kind of in their head say, hey, we can still get the 1 seed, which is a nice thing to have, maybe they're going to play with a slightly more sense of urgency than they did last year when they literally had nothing to play for, and then they fell flat in the NLDS. So now it's I'm just kind of hoping it stays close, where it's in their minds, they have something to play for. And they still technically don't have the 2 seed locked up, so they obviously don't want to lose that, but that's going to be locked up in the next couple days because I think they have a magic number of 3, if I'm not mistaken, with the Brewers. So that'll get locked up very quickly. But at least having something to quote unquote play for, just to kind of keep you in the mindset of competitive baseball, because we saw what happened last year when they literally had a month of non-competitive baseball.
That's just baseball.
And then it was just BASE, BAL, and then they fell flat against the Padres. But I don't see that being an issue this year.
What is going on in the chat there?
I know you guys have been rocking with Jason Hayward, and my boy Roy Estrada said Hayward needs to play every game and bat third in the lineup.
Wow.
I really do like the idea of him batting third. I also like the idea of him not playing every game because sometimes there are left-handed starters in there. And the reason he's been so good is because he's been heavily platooned to the team and his advantage.
I.E. Doyer also said we've handed over plenty of series on our own field, including 2 World Series trophies.
Damn good point.
Damn.
2017.
Let him know.
Right there.
2017.
Oh, and 18. Back-to-back years, the team celebrating at Dodger Stadium.
Well, the 18 one hurt because they had that game when we hit that 3-run home run. Well, I mean, 2017 hurt way more, but 2018 they should have won that.
Shout out
They should've
Eduardo
won that.
Perez or Rodriguez.
slammed his thing. Yeah, with the Jason Hayward thing really quickly, his splits 285 against righties, 174
He's locked
against
into the numbers.
174 against lefties. So you don't want him playing every day when he's hitting 174 against lefties.
Yeah.
There's no need for that.
Listen, what Doug would say is like, you know me, I just bring my facts to the fight in this
Bring
one.
my facts to the fight.
Noah just bought that baseball reference platinum subscription.
Little stat head, little stat head.
Stat head. I should know about.
But yeah, no, it's definitely like it's a great point. Dodgers. I'm
Dodgers.
talking like Doug right now.
No, Boomer Assassin also said it's not important, like you guys said, to have home advantage. It's more important to rest injured pieces as much as possible. 100% agree on that. Marco Rubio also said they should be worried about us over here.
Facts.
Matty Madman 5 said we essentially have 2 DHs and that's a problem. Interested
Talking
on
about
what
Max
you guys
Muncy, I'm assuming.
What do you guys think about that?
I mean, you've talked a lot about
I've talked
Muncy.
a lot about it, and I would say last night, Game 3, the series finale of that Twins Tigers series. You kind of saw the best of both worlds with Max because he can make some really good plays. He started an incredible double play in, what was it, the 6th inning or whatever it was, and then 2 plays later, kind of pulled the same or he showed you the other side of the coin, the flip side of the coin, where he kind of dropped his elbow, lost the ball. With him, it's either. What was good about Justin Turner was that the glove was always on lock. The arm strength was not the strongest, but he can get it there. But usually, you wouldn't see too much of a fielding and a throwing error in the same game. With Max, he could. And again, I love the dude, and I appreciate him at third. I appreciate him doing what he can to fill out what this team needs. But that type of and it led to a pretty important run, a pivotal run at that time of the game. That's amplified in October.
Oh, yeah.
And a speedy team. I think I talked about it before. It's I would be terrified to face the Diamondbacks in the postseason because you get a speedy team. They F with you, man. That's just bunt to third, move the ball around. Like, it just opens up some options. And, him breaking in and making that play and flipping that throw. I'm not trying to come off like mean or dickish about it. It's more of like, to me, that is one of my bigger concerns is something bad is going to, it can happen anywhere on the field.
I mean, we saw it with Trey Turner last year in the postseason.
Exactly.
Literally. He was the one who made 2 crucial mistakes in the field.
And
then he also made up for it by hitting 3 home runs in that series.
Yeah.
So same thing with Max last night. Yeah, he has that mistake. He also hit the only home run of the game. So it's really the give and take with Max Muncy. But
maybe
like
I'm
you
focusing
said,
too much
no,
on
but
the
like
Max.
you said, in October, an error is going to be amplified. And like with Trey Turner last year, you could very, very much point to those errors that Trey Turner had and say, like, those were the turning points in the game.
Yeah.
So
and that gave San Diego a lot of energy.
So with Max, you're hoping for average defense. You're just hoping for just don't make the stupid mistake. Like
don't make errors. Even if you miss a play, just don't make errors.
Don't make the error.
And that goes for the entire team.
Don't give team the extra base.
Yep.
And then on the offensive side, he's riding an 11-game hitting streak right now. He's hitting home runs. He had the walk-off 2 days ago. So you don't want the fielding to mess with him at the plate. You want this to be very separated.
Yeah, he's been good about that.
And he's been much better about that right now.
We know Max. We've had him on. We've talked to him here on the network a number of times. He's a player. He's a gamer. He gets it.
Yeah.
He knows what people are saying. He understands what media is saying. He does not want to be doing. He wants to be better. Max better at what he's doing.
He's in a perfect world, he is doing what Justin Turner did last year and DHing 80 games, 70 games, but this roster construction isn't built that way. They don't have.
He's playing to what they need, and damn, you have to appreciate.
And they needed a third baseman. Yeah. He's playing it. He's doing the best of his abilities. And in October, if we're not talking about Max Muncy at third base, then he's doing well. It's kind of as simple as that.
Yeah, he's like a middle reliever.
Yeah, it's like
let him drop some bombs.
If you don't have to mention his name on defense, and you're only talking about his home runs and his big hits, then he's doing something right. So.
I love big hits.
Speaking of doing something right, we have a super chat. Noah Dance.
You win.
Really enjoying that, aren't you?
Wait, what's the
Love
SpongeBob song? How does it go?
It's not a sponge. Go ahead and you read that, and I'll put on.
You sounded like Gary from SpongeBob earlier when he did that. Meow.
But yeah, shout out to Mr. Number 9. Not gonna read that whole name, unfortunately. But he said postseason tickets just dropped today. He's trying to get us there.
Oh,
we appreciate that, my guy.
go.
Thank you.
Thank you, 9.
Yeah, we should probably do something about that.
We'll do an article about the postseason tickets. So you guys, here it comes.
Here comes everybody. Hey, get there.
All right, 4 seconds.
Oh,
4
there's,
seconds.
don't DMCA us.
Don't
rock DMCA.
Don't DMAC_LAS.
Potential.
Thank you very much, 9, for the super chat.
Yeah. Was it 9-inch pincher?
Yeah, I'm just not gonna read the whole.
Is that it's a type of fish, right? It's a fish. I think that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Matty Man 5 Dodge says Diamondbacks' first 5 batters will bunt to third base side. All 5 will reach. Oof. All right, so talking a little bit about the home field advantage. Dodgers will have home field advantage either way in the NLDS. And looking at the wild card situation, the way things are lining up right now, what is it, Milwaukee or Phillies?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, the Phillies have that 4 spot on lock.
Yes.
No, it wouldn't be Milwaukee or Phillies. It'd be Milwaukee or the 6th seed.
So Arizona?
It'd be right now. It'd be Arizona.
Oh, that's terrifying. No, wait. I think Arizona's 5. So
Miami,
Philly or the Cubs? Okay, so wild card right now is Philadelphia, Arizona, Chicago Cubs.
So the Dodgers would play the 3 seed or the 6 seed because there's no reseeding in the MLB. So the Dodgers are playing the 3 seed Brewers, who are going to be the 3 seed, or the 6 seed, which is very much up for grabs right now. The Phillies are for sure going to be in that 4-5 game, which means they're going to play the Braves. So it's quote unquote most likely to be the Brewers because with that pitching staff in a wild card series, Burns, Woodruff, Peralta, you're expecting them to win that series. So the expectation is that the Brewers are going to be coming to Dodger Stadium for the NLDS. So that's kind of where we're at.
That works.
And then the Phillies, if they continue to stay hot, would play the Braves, which is why a lot of people are kind of asking about, do the Dodgers not want the 1 seed? Because do they want to avoid Philadelphia? You saw what Philly did last year, all the way to the World Series. They have the hitting. They have some really good pitchers. So if you're looking between Philadelphia and Milwaukee, yeah, you'd rather face Milwaukee, although Milwaukee has 3 of the best pitchers in the National League right now. So it could really, it's kind of a toss-up.
So it turns out you could Google things. So currently, it would be Cubs facing the Brewers.
So the winner
as of
game,
right now,
Cody Bellinger against the Dodgers.
Ooh!
Oh my God! Every time he does anything would be insane.
I mean,
no, but the Brewers would win that
give me,
series.
give me the Cubs. I want the Cubs. Let them be the Cinderella story in that series.
I mean,
because I think
the Cubs
Dodgers could
pitching
beat the Cubs.
the Dodgers for sure could beat the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs pitching is not going to match up at all with the Brewers. I mean, the Brewers have a 3-headed monster right now.
But Cody Bellinger. Been there, done that, beaten the Brewers a number of times. That was the Brewers were kind of the original.
I wonder what their season series is this year. Let's see.
Guys, he's going to look up numbers. I want
to know what their season series is.
Get in the Noah.
5-5. They have played 5. It's 5-5. So they probably play a bunch before the season ends. Would be my guess.
Crazy. Who do you guys want to face? You want to face Cubs? You want to face the Brew
off.
Crew? Don't want to face the Diamondbacks.
Let us know.
Let the Diamondbacks and the Phillies beat up on each other.
Yeah,
that would be
Anthony
nice.
Keene said Philly going to be a matchup nightmare for our first round.
Yeah, I mean Aaron Nola's really good. Zach Wheeler's really good.
Got some bats.
You look at their bats. Trey Turner was batting like 6 or 7 for them at some point. And since he's staying ovation, he's an MVP.
We know playoff Trey.
Yeah, Kyle Schwarber leadoff. That's always scary. With
Schwarber's good for at least 5 home runs against
our righty-heavy
Yeah.
bullpen. Nick Castellanos is playing really well. He was an all-star this year. Yeah,
hey, that's what they play for. These are all supposed to be the best teams in baseball,
That's a loaded team. So I personally would prefer to see
crapshoot
the Brewers and hope that our pitching can kind of just hang on with, Woodruff, Burns, and Peralta. But also, Dave Roberts said, you don't want to play the game of, who are we going to play? You want to be the best team. And, you want to beat whoever you're going to play. And I think all Dodger fans feel the same way. No matter who they're saying, they're better than that team. Maybe the Braves are the one that you can go either way because the Braves are arguably the best team in baseball this year.
You got a number of options in here that definitely instill a little bit of fear, and that's because it's got to come down to the reality of this pitching staff.
Yeah,
it's not what Dodger fans are used to in the past.
No, it's not. It's not Walker, Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, and Julio Urias games 1, 2, and 3. That's not what we're at right now.
Dig into some of the comments here before we get the hell out of here. Anthony Keene says Philly going to be a matchup nightmare for the first round. J Kid 323 says Cody is clutch in the playoffs. He would hurt our Dodgers. That is another one of the things you kind of do get a little fearful about seeing Cody in the postseason there. King Yellowman says it doesn't matter who we face, our rotation is going to be a problem. So I already kind of said that one there. Keen says you speak unfortunate facts. So you feel good about Bobby Miller getting a start. So I agree with my guy Cooper Neal. What's going on, Cooper? Good to see you in the chat. But I guess let's get there first and let's figure out what happens.
I mean, one dude, I think I do want to say that Doug at Doug McCain brought up on Twitter yesterday.
I know that guy.
He said if the Padres were to sneak into the playoffs, get really hot, they're 4.5 games back of the final wild card spot. If they were to sneak in, they'd play the Brewers in the first round, and if they were to beat the Brewers, that would be a Dodgers Padres NLDS. Thoughts on that?
Bring it on.
Okay.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be fun. You got a severely impaired, or not a severe. You got an impaired Manny Machado right now.
You have no rotation.
They have no rotation because Yu Darvish shut down for the year.
Joe Musgrove
they shut down Joe Musgrove for the year. You got Blake Snell.
He's good.
And that's about it.
That's
you
a Cy
know,
Young
and
right
then you
there.
got some
Future
some
Dodger.
Jags.
Future
Michael-
Dodger.
Future Dodger.
Definitely stay
You got
tuned
Michael
on the
Waka
Dodgers.
Waka Waka in there. They got
Seth Lugo.
They got Nick Martinez is
No,
kind of been in
it's
and
a
out.
much less scary pitching staff.
Much less scary.
But the bats are
But
there.
we've seen that in the past where like these guys are supposed to be the guys, you know. Julio and Kershaw last year did not do good in games 1 and 2.
Nope. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think the Padres are going to get that. I mean, it would take
It would be hilarious.
four teams ahead of them falling.
If all it took was all of like sports media just dumping all over their organization for them to
literally.
come alive, that would be hilarious.
I mean, they're on their
and that would
longest win
honestly
streak.
absolve that fool Neal of all of his transgressions against the Padres this season.
That's honestly bad. No, it would take a miracle. It would literally take a miracle. But it's something to talk about because you never know.
Cinderella story out of nowhere.
It's just baseball.
That's just baseball.
BASEBALL.
Let's go to center cam. Let's get the hell out of here, guys. We're looking for Kevin Harmon.
Kevin Harmon.
Remember, Kevin, you have won a Mookie Betts jersey. Thank everybody so much for getting to 70,000 subscribers. As I've already said before, it does mean a lot to people like myself, to Doug, to Mr. Gary Lee, our big time boss man. We've worked hard to try to put out things that you guys will like, and stay tuned for the next giveaway coming soon? Question mark. But first we gotta make sure Kevin gets that Mookie Betts jersey. So we'll make sure we make communication with the man. Find us on the internet at DodgersNation.com. Find us also at InsideTheDodgers.com, covering all of your baseball. That's just baseball when it comes to the Dodgers. Subscribe. We are a podcast, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere your podcasts are available for free. We live there. So that's, so that's cool. And you know, we got to 70. We want to get to 100 next. So subscribe to our YouTube channel at Dodgers Nation TV on there. Hit that notification bell. It's a great way to be tuned in to all the things that happen with that and the stuff and the things. I'm Real FRG on Twitter and Instagram. That is at Noah Cameras on the Twitter, on the threads, at Dodgers Nation on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, at Noise by Noel on the board. Appreciate you, Noel, running the show. Thank you for the comments, questions, super chats. Appreciate the hell out of you guys. And we'll see you Monday. Back with Doug. Bye.